from the Hillfish County Minneapolis Fed president said with the auto strike, with potential for a government shutdown, some of these events, these negative events, could actually do some of the heavy lifting for the Fed. So maybe they would have to.
True, or they could work the other way, right? They could drive inflation. If they don't produce as many cars, that's less supply where the demand remains the same. And if they raise wages, that's higher pay, chasing after the same pool of goods. So
I take care of the people in Vegas. I always take care of them.
I hope they don't have to strike at the Sphere, because I got to go there. I got to check out Jimmy Dolan's Sphere.
Yeah. See if he can fix it.
It looks awesome.
It does. It looks very cool. All right, John Tucker, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Matt Miller, Paul Sweeney, live here in our Bloomberg.
Are you a YouTube fan? Because you're Irish.
I'm a big YouTube. I'm a YouTube fan.
Yeah, sure. Because they're doing the residency.
I know.
They're kicking it off.
I would definitely hit that.
They're
I have
still
not seen YouTube.
They're still around. I thought it was funny because Business Week said the Sphere, they wanted to, use this new technology to bring a whole new generation of kids to the entertainment industry in Las Vegas, and then they're going to usher them in with an 80-year-old band. I stopped listening to U2 after Joshua Tree, which was like 1988.
Your number is a true YouTube fan. Matt Miller. All right, we're streaming live here on YouTube, so we head over to YouTube because we're where the kids are. YouTube.com/Bloomberg Radio. Speaking of the young folks, Alex Semenova joins us. She's a Bloomberg Equities reporter. She's on the cutting edge of everything. What's going on in these markets, Alex? What are you looking at?
Well, great to join you guys. Happy Wednesday. I'm taking a look at shares of Costco. Brings back some fond memories of my childhood walking through and trying all the samples. Those shares are up about 2% after they reported earnings that beat Wall Street estimates. Sales figures showed that shoppers continued to flock to the warehouse store to buy bulk purchases of groceries. They did scale back, however, on buying the bigger ticket items, which is a sign of a retreat in consumer spending on discretionary items. Inflation is still pretty elevated. People are worried about the economy. Their CFO highlighted that customers were making more trips, so store traffic rose about 5% for the year, but overall spending did fall. And a concern that analysts at Morgan Stanley flagged was that Costco didn't mention when they might be hiking membership fees. That's why the initial price reaction to those earnings, the stock was lower, but it's not a sign that they won't be hiking in the coming quarters. Morgan Stanley estimated that an increase in membership prices would boost profits by about 3% in the subsequent 2 years, and they said that that hasn't been baked into analyst expectations yet.
Are you a Levi or Lee or some other jeans?
My favorite jeans brand is Samurai. It's a small brand out of Japan. They use the old looms from pre-World War II.
Levi Strauss. I'm a Levi jeans person. You're Wrangler, Lee, or Levi. Ignore what Matt was saying. What's Levi Strauss saying?
Yeah, well, that's the reason that Cowen started coverage on the stock is their brand loyalty that you just mentioned, Paul. They cited that as a reason to initiate coverage with an outperform rating with a $16 price target. The firm sees positive long-term earnings growth potential for Levi Strauss. They cited 6% annual revenue growth and consistent gross margin expansion, again pointing to that brand awareness and market share.
See, you can't buy your jeans at a local Army Navy store. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I get you into a pair of Samurais and you will, like 25-ounce denim, when you wear these things, you're like armored, right? They should sell these at Army Navy stores.
All right, Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Alex Semenova covers all the markets for Bloomberg News. Joining us live here in the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio. Former colleague of ours, Callie Cox. Now, Cox back in the studio, U.S. investment analyst with eToro. So, Callie, what do you make of this market? I mean, the people, last 4 or 5 weeks, people have gotten very nervous here about this whole interest rate environment and what it may mean, A, how the risk assets perform in a higher for longer environment, but does that really bring back onto the table recession? How do you guys think about that right here?
Yeah, well, we see people building a wall of worry. We think that's a good thing. And I'm not trying to be overly optimistic here, but if you think about this list of worries that we're going through, student loan payments restarting, if you think about higher oil, higher yields, potential government shutdown, there's a reason why people are nervous, but put them all together and you only count a few of those as actual systemic risks to the economy. So that's what we're telling customers. Keep an eye on oil, keep an eye on yields, even though yields are telling us a good thing. Still pressure on the economy and markets, but everything else might just be a distraction.
All right, so I'm sorry, but you sound still pretty constructive on these markets here?
We're, I hate this phrase, but cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
We're constructive, but we're also asking people to really tread carefully and pick up quality risk. Don't go all out here. I mean, we are in a bull market until proven otherwise, until we see that recession or that crisis. Right now, there are a few signs of that, but at the same time, we don't know what cracks could be forming underneath the surface.
So, how worried are you about, the government shutdown, which is very likely to come this weekend? The strikes, the UAW strikes, being prolonged. I mean, is this a factor in your analysis?
Yeah, so we think about the strikes and the shutdown a bit differently, even though the shutdown is kind of like a forced strike from government employees, right? So the UAW strike, of course, is front and center of our minds, especially because we have a lot of investors who own auto stocks. This is a big deal for the auto industry. I mean, luckily, we're talking about U.S. production here, and U.S. production is just a small share of global car production. I mean, U.S. consumers use a lot of cars, but they don't exactly produce a lot of them. So we think global production could fill the gap there, but at the same time, I mean, this is another worry to lot on top of the economy that's under a lot of pressure. Government shutdown, again, I mean, if you look historically, they haven't made much of a dent in either the economy or markets. It's usually just a distraction. But going back to systemic risk, we don't know what's happening underneath the surface, and we're encouraging people to not freak out too much, but understand that this is just another piece of pressure that investors have to think about.
Why don't I just sit my 2-year treasury at 5.1%? That's pretty good.
I mean, a lot of people are doing that. I mean,
So
look
is
at
that something you guys? I mean, is that something you guys are seeing from your clients or hearing from your clients, and what are you telling them about that?
Oh yeah, we hear it all the time. We did a webinar with clients yesterday, and that was one of